Welcome back. In today's lesson, we are looking at law of multiple proportion. Don't forget, we are still looking at chemical laws. And today's lesson, we are looking at law of multiple proportion. Law of multiple proportion. What does the law say? The law states that if two elements combine together to form more than one chemical compound, then the several masses of one of the elements that combine separately with a fixed mass of the other element are in a simple whole number ratio. The law says that if two elements combine together to form more than one chemical compound, the several masses of one of the elements which combine with a fixed mass of the other element are in a simple whole number ratio. And there are some calculations that we can use to illustrate the law of multiple proportion, like the one we have on the board. So let's look at this question and use it to illustrate the law of multiple proportion. We state that if two elements A and B combine together to form more than one chemical compound, then the several masses of one of the elements which combine with a fixed mass of the other element are in a simple whole number ratio. Now you have lead form two oxides by reacting with oxygen. Analysis of the two oxides shows that in oxide 1, 86.6 gram of lead combined with 13.4 gram of oxygen, and in 2, 92.8 gram of lead combined with 7.2 gram of oxygen. Show that these results illustrate the law of multiple proportion. Now in the first sample, you have sample 1. In sample 1, 86.6 gram of oxygen of lead combined with 13.4 gram of oxygen. Now if I fix the mass of lead, then 1 gram of lead will combine with x gram of oxygen. I don't know the mass of oxygen that this one will combine with. So to find the mass that 1 gram of lead will combine with, if I cross multiply now, this will times this, I will have 86.6x, 86 times x, to be equal to 1 times 13.4. That will give me 13.4. Then x should be equal to 13.4 over 86.6. Then in that case, s will now be equal to, we will have 13.4 divided by 86.6. That is 0.1547. That means 1 gram of lead will combine with 0.1547 gram of oxygen now. Of oxygen, O2. Now in sample 2, (92.8 gram of lead, 92.8 gram of lead combines with 7.2 gram of oxygen. Then what mass of oxygen will 1 gram of lead combine with? So now 1 gram of lead here combined with x gram of oxygen. So if I cross multiply also here, I will have 92.8x, this times this, is equal to 1 times is equal to 7.2 gram of lead. So my x in this case will now be equal to 7.2 divided by 92.8. Then you have 7.2 divided by 92.8. 7.2 divided by 92.8. So that will give me 0.0776. Then what is the ratio of the masses in 1 gram of oxygen in 1 gram of lead? Ratio of the masses of oxygen in the 1 gram of lead. That is ratio of oxygen now. Ratio of oxygen. In sample 1, you have this is sample 1, ratio sample 2. In sample 1, you have 0.1547, ratio 0.0776. Then divide by the smallest ratio, which is this one. So I have 0.1547 divided by 0.0776, ratio 0.0776 over 0.0776. This will give me 1 then. Then if I divide this one too, I have 0.1547 divided by, that will give me 2. So we discover that in the two samples, the ratio of oxygen that combine are in a simple whole number, 2:1. 2:1. So that's what the law says. If two elements combine together to form more than one compound, the several masses of one of the elements that will combine with a fixed mass of the other are in a simple whole number ratio, as we have shown in this calculation. See you in the next class. Bye bye.